I've got Claude on my left and ChatGPT on my right. And in the next couple minutes, I'm going to teach you an AI group exercise icebreaker. And in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to show you an AI icebreaker group activity that by the time there were that leverages AI in a really simple way. I've got Claude on my left and ChatGPT on my right. And in the next couple minutes, I'm going to teach you an AI group exercise icebreaker that takes zero prep and creates zero cringe. And it works with any group, whether you're in person or virtual, whether there's 10 people or 100 or 1,000. After this video, there will be no more let's go around the room and share a fun fact. There will be no more sharing of spirit animals, but you will have a really clever, simple to implement activity that makes you look smart. It leverages AI at what it's really good at, but really uplifts the collective wisdom and the humanity in the room. And the best part of all, it connects people to the purpose of why they are there in that gathering. 7-second public service announcement here real quick. Even though the title of this video has the word icebreaker in it, and so do a bunch of other videos on the channel, I exist to gently eradicate the word icebreaker and replace it with connection before content. I think the way, especially in the age of AI, the way that we connect with each other is paramount. We need to be leaning more toward depth of connection and real human connection and not away from it. And this activity actually brings that to life. It uses technology as a medium to connect over something really meaningful. In a moment, we'll get practical and I'll actually have Claude and ChatGPT talking to each other in a little live demo of this exercise. But here's the essence of it. Ready? I thought of this activity because I'm pondering it, using it as the opening exercise to the Connector Summit this December. If you don't know what that is, there's probably a link somewhere. But the idea is the word connector. In the context for me, what that means, my individual definition, is it is somebody that is responsible for a group. It's somebody who's a key part of their job is running groups, gathering meetings, workshops, trainings, courses, classes, large keynotes, small scale executive meetings, right? Somebody who is in that role of connector. And that role spans across industries, but that's my personal definition. Everybody else who attends a Connector Summit has their own definition of what a connector is and what it means to be, not just do, but what it means to be a connector. And so what I'm pondering as the opening exercise for the summit is having everybody, this will happen virtually. So I'll share the virtual version and then the in-person version. I'm calling this exercise co-define. What I have everybody do is give them a word or an idea or a concept and have them type their definition for it. Everybody type their definition for it in the chat, but do not hit enter. If you're in person, you can start a voice memo, and it'll start a voice memo. And you can just record and have people speak out, or you can have people scan a QR code and submit definitions as well. So the idea is I collect a few hundred definitions of what the word connector is, and then I paste those in to Claude, ChatGPT, your AI drug of choice. Essentially with the prompt that I'm going to flow out is something like, can you take all of these individual definitions for the word connector and combine them into one beautifully crafted collective definition that really uplifts and captures the collective wisdom in this community? Boop. By the way, Whisper Flow, if you haven't used it, I just press the Option key. That all pops out. It's lovely. You should look it up. Easter eggs hidden in videos, right? So I'm going to do that. And just for the sake of playing here, can you generate 50 very different individual definitions for the word connector in the context of people who gather groups? So I'm asking ChatGPT to generate these definitions. If it wasn't just me and you here, I would have a group generate all of these. Connector is a designer of belonging. A connector is someone who helps. What AI is really good at is arranging words. So when you have a group, now it's not good, I don't think, that it's generally good at creating the essence of what you want to create. If you take 10,000 words from a group and ask AI to analyze and arrange them in a particular way with your prompt, it's really good at taking that context and doing something useful with it. Not as good at creating something from scratch, right? Context is king. In a group, in a live group setting, you can collect an immense amount of context very quickly, which is why this exercise co-define works well. So let's jump back to here. I'm going to paste these 50 currently fake definitions in. I'm going to have Claude work on creating one beautiful definition. And what I might do, and I want you to actually, I'll leave it up so you can read it as well. Okay, ew, right? So I'm learning in my prompt, this is, ew in terms of, this is probably actually really lovely and beautiful, but it's way too long, right? So I don't fight with, this is just a little AI pro tip for you. I don't fight with AI for too long, but I give it at least a few prompts. I don't expect to one-shot something right away, all right? So I jump back here. This is really lovely, but can you give it to me in one clear statement that I can read back to the group? A connector is someone who architects belonging, turning a room full of individuals into a circle of possibility. A connector is someone who architects belonging. They lower the risk of joining in. Notice who's left out, turn proximity. Okay, so here's where the connection part of this, here's where the icebreaker part of this. This is actually almost more of a context hook. It's like loop everybody into the purpose of your gathering. So think about what is the course that you're teaching, the idea that you're trying to get across, the thing that is most important, the purpose of that gathering. Have people all contribute some thoughts to that. Then have AI arrange it. And then here's where the connection before content part comes in. That's like collecting your context. That's the context hook. Then I would put this definition up on a screen or read it back to a group a couple times and get people into groups of 3 to discuss what really clicks with them about that definition. In fact, the framing of that connection that I would say is turn everybody into an editor. So you've had AI co-define, you've had the group co-define, you've had AI arrange into one definition. And then when you send people back into small groups and you invite them to edit the AI generated definition, what ends up happening is they start advocating and talking about what's important to them of like, oh, this part really resonates with me. I really like that. I see that show up in my work. This part is like, I feel like it's missing. And so what happens is people get to know a bit about each other. They get to connect with each other. They get to connect to the purpose of why they are there. And then this prompt also invites them to share something that is true for them, to speak a bit of their truth. For me, those are the 3 essential criteria that move something from an icebreaker to connection before content, which is for me is much more intentional, productive, useful. It actually makes meetings go faster, not slower. And over time, it creates an immense amount of communication shortcuts. Now, here's your job. Ruthlessly steal and reinterpret this idea, apply it to your own context, and go use it to make a difference in your own groups. Have an awesome day. Perhaps I'll see you at the Connector Summit in December. There's probably still a link for that below. Cheers.